This presentation has to do with assignment one or module one's assignment problems. And you had three exercises, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6. And no, you had four. You had 1.8, and you had an added exercise where you were supposed to make up your own exercise and relay that in the same manner as you did the other exercises. And here I'm going to show you what I did for my added exercise. Uh, because when you did this, you had to come up with the research questions and define the control experimental group here. And then you had to assign how you assigned the control and treatment groups. You had to plan that. And you had to state your hypotheses, the null hypotheses and the motivated hypotheses. I could have had an H sub A there. I've got H sub O there. That probably should have been H sub A. Let me put an A down there. That works better for that. Then discuss the criteria for rejecting the hypotheses, or in this case, the hypothesis. So let's go back, and I mentioned this, I think, in that first lecture I gave or opening screen. But anyway, I will propose that the students that eat lunch in the cafeteria. I want to do this. Eat lunch in the cafeteria will perform better on the semester exam in algebra class. And probably could have gone on and said ... and explained a little more about that. Probably should have. Then students who don't, I probably should have put then students who do not eat in the cafeteria. That's probably what I should have done. Okay, research question. Will students that eat lunch in the cafeteria score significantly differently on the semester exam in algebra than the group not eating in the cafeteria? Now, you notice I said students that eat lunch in the cafeteria will score significantly differently, because when we use a two-tailed test, we're not supposed to give an indication that it's going to be greater than or less than, because that 0.05 level doesn't mean that what it does when you're having a two-tailed test. So you got to remember that out in each one of those tails on a two-tailed test, you've got, what is it? 0.0250 is what it really amounts to. So I know you remember that probably from your first research methods or statistics class. But anyway, score significantly differently. I wasn't indicating one way or another on the hypothesis. Control and experimental group. The control group will not eat in the cafeteria. The treatment group consists of students that do eat in the cafeteria. Assignment to control and treatment groups will randomly select algebra students that eat and do not eat in the cafeteria by putting their names in a hat and pulling out an equivalent size sample for each group. Probably pull out 10. Now the hypotheses, that needs to be down here, I guess, for part D. And let me clean up my punctuation and grammar here. I guess I'll just do this. I don't know what that's all about. Now then, H sub O, the null hypothesis. Students that eat in the cafeteria will not score significantly different on the algebra midterm exam than those students that do not eat in the cafeteria. Motivated hypothesis, students that eat in the cafeteria will score significantly differently than students who do not eat in the cafeteria. I guess I'll have to watch myself. That if you're writing that in your dissertation, you need to probably fill that on out. Now, don't do as I do, do as I say. Have you told your children that? I'm sure you have. Criteria for rejecting the hypotheses. After the midterm, gather student scores and analyze it. Okay, let's do that. And I didn't pay very good attention to the grammar and punctuation, did I? If there was no statistically significant difference in the midterm exams scores between the control group and the treatment group, then I would not reject H sub O, and in turn I would reject H sub A. I'm going to call it H sub A. That's the motivated hypothesis. If one group of students, or if one of the groups, I don't know what I had intended there, but if one group of students did have a significantly different scores than the other, then I would reject H sub O and not reject H sub A. That's all you had to do there. You know, there's a little trick you can do here. Probably we ought to do that. Is go over here and put those letters as subscripts. And when you're writing your dissertation, you're going to need to do that. You're going to need to put that stuff down there like that. And anyhow, that's what we do on that problem. I'll just end that particular part of it right there and let you look at that when you start lesson 2 or module 2. Thank you.